this is officially the last video that I'm filming in 2023. I don't know what day exactly this video is going to be posted, but just know I'm filming this on the last day that I possibly can in 2023. I have a red eye tonight to Spain, and I thought I'd get ready this morning and kind of go over the good, the bad, the ugly, a little bit of a 2023 recap. I don't really talk too much about my personal life or anything on this channel. I just feel like nobody cares, and honestly, that's the way I like to keep it. I am a makeup channel, but I do like to occasionally sprinkle some things in, and I'm a big New Year's resolutions person. I've changed my life in so many ways through following different goals that I've had throughout the years, and I'm successful for most of them. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of group my thoughts together. But I did just want to stop and thank you all so much for all of your support throughout this year. If you've subscribed this year, I'm so happy you decided to join along for the ride. I hope you enjoyed the content that I created this year. I truly cannot express my gratitude enough for you guys for supporting me and being a part of me being able to do something that I love every single day. I am so passionate about what I do here on YouTube. So I feel like I don't thank you guys enough, but I genuinely mean this from my heart. Thank you for allowing me to do this, for showing up and being a reason why I can fulfill my passions. You know, you guys are a huge part of it. I do, of course, work hard to maintain all of this and bring the content, but without the viewers, I wouldn't be able to do this all day, every day like I have dreamed of. So thank you for the incredible year. Honestly, 2023 has been nothing short of incredible for me. I put a lot of hard work in and it has paid off. By the way, in terms of getting ready, I'm not going to share anything, but I will have it linked down in the description box. I'm doing a full face of e.l.f. They just launched a lot of new makeup, and the only new makeup I have that I'm testing today are the blushes and the mascara. But everything else, I just thought I'd pull some of their old products. I especially wanted to refresh my mind on the e.l.f. CC cream because they just launched a hydrating version. So I was like, let me get in on this old one first just to clarify my thoughts before reviewing that one. So let's keep it real. We're going to start off with the highs of 2023. The big one, you guys. We grew 133,000. This year. There are 133,000 people that took the time to subscribe to my channel this year. So thank you. If you are one of those 133,000, I appreciate you and I thank you for your time on my channel, and I hope you've enjoyed the content that I've created thus far. And then of course, obviously, those of you who have been here for the long, much appreciated support to you as well. But yeah, I'm somebody who is very restrained with my expectations, right? I'm always looking for worst case scenario so that I don't get disappointed. And I'll tell you, when I remember specifically my husband, my mom, and I having a conversation as to how we thought 2023 would go, 133,000 subscribers was not in the cards for me. I definitely was like, maybe I'll grow like 50 if I have a good year. So truly, if I could go back to 2022 right now and tell myself how I did, like, girl, you gotta believe in yourself more. You did amazing. And you know, to get those 133,000, I posted a lot this year. You guys know this is my full-time job. I don't have any kids. I don't have any pets. I got nothing but time to post videos. So Morgan, why do you post so much videos? Because I can. Because I love doing this and I love testing makeup. So with having posted so much, I have tested so much makeup. It's insane how much I've been able to test and work with off and on camera. You know, 2023, I really had my head down in the work and I loved every second of it. And a big kind of personal high for me from the work that I put in, I was able to upgrade from a 1-bedroom apartment that my husband and I were totally cramped in to a 2-bedroom apartment, which was a really big deal for me because when Jose and I first moved to Miami, I mean, we're so blessed to even be able to afford to move to this city, especially with how the prices were skyrocketing. But you know, moving out of your parents for the first time and 100% financially supporting yourself. In that 1-bedroom when we first moved to Miami early 2022, money was a little tight. Tighter than, you know, I wanted it to be because Miami is an expensive city. So I am so grateful for the fact that we were able to upgrade our life a little bit into a 2-bedroom. Now, I did a vlog talking about this, but we caught a deal on this 2-bedroom apartment. So I'm going to be really interested to see what happens when our lease renews and what they're going to try and get out of us. But moving to a 2-bedroom, being able to have a beauty room again was definitely one of my biggest highlights slash life upgrades of the year, easily. And this is for any fellow creators who are trying to grow. One of the reasons that I grew so much was because I put a big emphasis on short form content this year, and that includes all platforms: TikTok, Instagram. I will say in terms of short form content, definitely the short form content took off the most on YouTube this year, which I'm happy about because obviously YouTube is my favorite platform. So don't forget to be posting those shorts. Make the content valuable. I definitely put a lot of effort into making my short form content as valuable as possible, but I do put a lot of love and thought into my short form as well, and it really paid off for me this year. How are you guys feeling about short form content? I think short form content audience and long form content audience are very different people. Like if you're watching this now, I doubt you watch most of my short forms, but if I don't know, didn't get ready with me in short form, then we'll be like, I don't even watch your long form videos. So I do feel like I have two different audiences, which honestly is great. I have thoroughly enjoyed creating both style of contents. My heart, of course, does belong to long form content. That will always be my favorite. I got a lot to say, but it's been a fun change of pace creatively for me. It's just been fun to look at content creation as something a little different, but it sure does make life a lot harder, okay? As soon as I went full-time is when the short form content started kicking off. So I feel like I never got it easy, like a YouTuber who only had to like post a couple long form videos a week. I'm posting short form content every single day, just about. Another huge career high for me that happened this year. You guys, I'm not like a creator with millions of followers getting thousands and thousands of dollars for every little thing I post. So I cannot believe that I got to go to a YouTube event in LA this year. They flew me out and I got to lead a workshop for other creators. Like they picked me to do that. Now, the workshop that I led was actually about creating short form content and like making them shoppable, and I am a shopping creator. I do love to shop and I love to talk about shopping, and so I gave my tips and tricks for that, and I cannot believe that I got to participate in that day, not only attend but also be a moving part in that. I never ever would have imagined that YouTube would pick me, fly me out to LA, and then I get to help my peers. It felt really good. I think especially because I used to be a teacher, I felt like I was in my element. Truly, that was one of the biggest highs in my career ever. Probably the biggest high in my career ever, because I never ever thought that that was going to happen. You know, in terms of my goals for this channel, right? It was never to be this big, giant content creator. I don't want that. I don't, too much drama with that, too many people, too many opinions. I don't want that. I just want to make like a healthy, steady living, enough money that I can, you know, buy some stuff that I like, have a decent home eventually, and just live a comfortable life. That's all I want out of this. I never care to be invited to, you know, these travel, what are they? You know, the travel things, a brand trip. I mean, if they want to invite me, I'll take it, don't get me wrong. But I'm not fighting for that, to be invited to brand trips or to move out to LA and go to all of these things. That was never the goal for me, and it still is not the goal for me. So the fact that something like that kind of happened to me, unbelievable. Really, really so grateful. So that was definitely, I would say, my career high, because it's just something I never would have imagined would ever happen to me. And so those were more career oriented. I do want to talk about some personal achievements and personal highs that happened this year. So the first one I already mentioned was the 2-bedroom. The second one, I mean, we didn't have much play in this, but Jose, my husband, who we have been going through an immigration process since 2023. He's originally from Spain. He finally got his papers approved and he got a green card this year. And the reason why that was such a big deal is since 2020, because of the visa that we were applying for, he could not travel outside of the US until his visa was approved. So from 2020 on to mid-July, my husband could not travel outside of the country to see his family. Nothing. And his sister actually was getting married in July or August. I can't remember when it was. And we were honestly devastated that we would not be able to attend. We tried to do what we could to see if they could expedite the process, if there was a way that they could give us an exception to travel, because the way it works, if you travel outside of the US without your green card, you're not going to be allowed back in the country, and pretty much you have to restart the paperwork. Everything would become void. So we don't know how else to describe this other than a miracle, but literally days before his sister's wedding, I'm talking like 3 or 4 days before his sister's wedding, his approval notice came. And there's a whole story that I did on my channel because it wasn't as easy as, oh, it came in the mail and we could go. There's a whole other thing about it, but long story short, after a lot of stress and last second, very expensive plane tickets, mine to Spain being the last one that they had for the plane, we made it in the nick of time for his sister's wedding. My husband got to go to Spain for the first time in 3 years to see his family. He got to attend his sister's wedding. So that was easily one of the best things, if not the best thing, that happened to us in 2023. Now, I stated earlier that I was a pretty big goal person. I like having goals. I achieve a lot of the goals that I create. Not all resolutions, like most people, don't actually come to fruition. But I will say more than the average person, I actually do follow through with a lot of my resolutions. So here's a couple of mine that I achieved. I read a lot more in 2023. I haven't calculated exactly how many books I read, but I don't want to make it about a number anyways. But I read a lot compared to what I read last year. I read a lot for me. And the reason why I wanted to get into reading more, I'm not a person who naturally loves reading, but I needed to get off my phone. Pretty much. I found that every hobby that I had involved me being on my phone or being able to use my phone while doing it. I just needed to get off and stop scrolling. So I chose to get into reading, to get away from the social media, get away from the scrolling. I will say to get away from the screen, but I actually read off of a Kindle. So that is technically a screen, but it's not like, it's just different, okay? And it's better for the environment for me to have a Kindle. Takes up a lot less space too. No, but I am really proud of myself for my reading habits this year because I wasn't sure if I'd actually follow through with that one, and everybody in my family doubted me. I asked for a Kindle for my birthday and they were like, girl, you don't need that. But my husband got me one anyways, and I use it. I use it all the time. I try to read a little bit before bed. I'm a slow reader. It takes me a long time to finish a book, but reading is reading. It doesn't matter at what pace. And yeah, I've been sharing on my Instagram stories. I have a story that you can see, or a highlight, I mean, if you want to see some of the books that I read and I shared my opinion on them. I also, the classic ones of being healthy, working out. I worked out super consistent this year. I'm really proud of myself. I did a lot of reformer Pilates. I did some berries classes. I really had a wide array of exercises that I was doing this year, but most importantly, I was extremely consistent. So I'm proud of myself for that. Now, I've always pretty much been consistent, so that wasn't an issue of mine, but I even amped it up a little bit more this year, working out 5 to 6 times a week, almost every week out of the year, which I know for some of you, you're gonna be like, whoa, but you do need to remember my career before this, I was a physical education teacher, so working out has been something that's been a part of my life for a long, long time, but I'm highlighting it because I worked out more than I normally do. I was more consistent than ever and probably had some of the not hardest, but I worked out hard as well. Like, they were good workouts that I did. So I definitely want to continue that into 2023 or 2024. And even though I did have a career in health and fitness prior to doing this, I still hate working out, okay? I just have that inner motivation to do it because it's so good for you. But it does take a lot of work still to get me to work out, but still, go me for being able to do that. And if you are looking like, how did I find the motivation to go even harder as somebody who consistently works out, the big change for me, I started going to group fitness classes and like boutique fitness classes. I had never done that before, and it's really hard to self-motivate, but there's something about a class where you really do push yourself. You pay a lot for it, they're expensive, but I really do work harder in group fitness classes. So if you live in an area where you have access to workout classes, download ClassPass. I think group fitness classes are game changers. And then the last thing that I really worked on this year was I worked on my cooking a lot. I have never had an interest in cooking. My mom is like the best cook in the world, so she did all the cooking for me. I felt no need to want to learn how to cook, but obviously living by myself, I did have to learn. And honestly, you guys, I enjoy it. Not every night of the week, but I do enjoy planning a couple meals a week. And so I really feel like I've improved my cooking skills and expanded the amount of meals and dishes I am able to create. And you guys know, you might not, but I'm actually, outside of being a makeup addict, I am a foodie. For sure. I love food. I love trying new foods. I love new restaurants. Huge foodie. Like, if I were to create another social media channel, it would easily be something related to being a foodie. I love watching the foodie channels on TikTok and stuff. So yeah, if I had another account, it would be a foodie account. Testing new foods, going to the grocery store favorites, trying Trader Joe's things. That would be my other channel. So, those are my highs, but of course, the year did come with lows. And I think all things considered, I did have a very good year. So looking at my lows, they're okay. They're not super hard to deal with. But one major thing that was new to me this year that was a little bit more difficult to deal with, and this has to do with this whole social media thing. I talked about in the beginning the major high of, having the growth that I did. However, with growth and more eyes on you comes a lot more opinions, unkind opinions being thrown at you. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I've had a really tough time this year with my comment section. The comment section was really hard on me. I love what I do, I love my job, but now I feel like every single thing I do, every video I make, every sentence I say, it comes with a critique, or I'm not doing something right, I'm not saying something right, and it is very, very draining to have to constantly filter through, to be honest, opinions I didn't ask for. And I think, the bigger you get, the less human I become to people. And so they just say things that they wouldn't have normally said to me, but I am human. I read all of my comments. I'm not a channel with millions and millions of followers, so that shouldn't change anything. I'm a human being. I read my comments, and some of you guys, not you guys, if you're watching this, you're probably kind, but some people have to get a grip. It's not that serious. I'm just a channel about makeup. Okay, I don't want to get worked up. Just navigating the negativity of the internet, and the internet is a very negative place, has been something new to learn how to deal with this year. And I don't want to complain too much about it because it really is just one of those things where you have to be in it to kind of fully understand, because I used to watch other creators complain about comments and I'm just like, get over it, right? Like, obviously it's just a stupid person, but people really go below the belt. And if I haven't made it very clear, this channel is like my pride and joy. I put so much love into it. This is my job, and it's like, how would you feel strangers telling you you suck at your job and you need to do this, this, and this, and this to be right? Anyways, I don't want to harp on that too much because you know what? Most of you are so kind, so sweet, and I do try, obviously, to focus on that. Oh my gosh, in the grand scheme of things, this one is not as bad, but did I tell you guys about my Christmas? I don't think I told you guys about my Christmas. My mom has been saying this is the worst worst Christmas ever. Side note, I'm gonna do half Rare Beauty, half Elf because I'm in the middle of comparing them. I think some of you guys would be interested in that. Anyways, not our best Christmas. Still very blessed. You know, everybody I loved was able to be there. However, on Christmas Day, tell me why I thought I had overstuffed myself with food because I was eating as if I'd been starved all year. I was eating without abandon. And Christmas morning, I woke up nauseous. And let's just say until about 2 p.m. on Christmas Day, what I had stuffed in my body had to come out. It was a terrible Christmas for me health-wise. I felt terrible. There's nothing worse than having tummy issues. Nothing worse. It was horrible. And I thought it was something that not something that I ate, but I thought it was because I was just treating my body badly with what I was eating, because I am a very healthy eater the majority of the time, but I was not being healthy at all in my family's house. So I thought my body was just rejecting my food choices, because I have a history, you guys, this is a fun fact about me, of getting sick on Christmas from eating unhealthy, eating too many candies. So this is not the first time something like this has happened to me. In fact, I think it's the third time, the third Christmas that something like this has happened to me. So yeah, kind of didn't want to say I expected it, but we were not surprised it happened because I have a very sensitive tummy when I am not eating healthy. But guess what? So Christmas was terrible for me. We had to wait to open presents because I was on the toilet. But eventually I got better. My tummy's still a little messed up. I feel like I haven't fully recovered, but at least I don't feel like death anymore. The Rare Beauty one is matte, and then the Elf one is very clearly Joey. Anyway, so then when Jose and I left a couple days ago, Jose was saying he wasn't feeling well, and I was like, honestly, I thought it was in his head. You know, sometimes men can be weaker with illness. And then we got to the airport and he threw up, and I was like, oh no, like this is serious. But I thought he had motion sickness. But yeah, he was unwell on our travel day. There is nothing worse than being sick on a travel day or on a plane. But his was really minor compared to what I had, so I thought maybe Jose had like motion sickness or he also was eating unhealthy. Then yesterday, my mom called me. She went, your dad just threw up. So we've come to the conclusions. I think we had a tummy bug. So Christmas this year for us was definitely not ideal. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that nobody gets sick next Christmas because it was not great. Anyways, I just had to share that Christmas story because not a good Christmas. The last kind of, I guess, bad thing that had happened this year, and it's not really that bad, but it's just something I noticed. I feel like, you guys, I've been in a makeup rut. I haven't really been inspired by the products that have been launching or the makeup trends, really. I haven't been as inspired by. The makeup's just too natural. Though I've been enjoying the natural makeup, I've been doing natural makeup looks, it's not something that feeds creativity in me. So I fell into a rut of my makeup kind of looking the same and doing the same techniques. But recently, I feel like I've gotten out of it. So what I did to help me get out of the makeup rut was I started watching the really trendy makeup tutorials on TikTok. I don't really get makeup on my feed too much on TikTok. I get like animals and cooking and the North Sea of all things on my TikTok. So I don't really get much makeup. but I made a point to try and watch every makeup tutorial that crossed my feed. And honestly, it's worked. It's really helped re-inspired me. I filmed a video doing like a cold girl winter look. That's because I was feeling inspired by what I was watching. And the techniques, they're cool. They're different than what I'm used to, these stupid TikTok techniques that they're doing. You know, I'm still very much want to do makeup the way that I'm comfortable doing it, but it's been fun to mess around with underpainting and not setting my face, doing more dewy cream looks. So if you're in a bit of a makeup rut, go to TikTok, watch some tutorials. I was watching, you know, what these TikTok girls that I now consider myself too old to really be watching. I've been watching the products that they've been using. It's been refreshing. It really, really has. So I'm getting out of my makeup rut. However, I absolutely was in a makeup rut in 2023, so that kind of sucked because it was like I wasn't testing new makeup techniques. I was doing the same makeup techniques. I was testing new makeup, so I was still having fun, but the looks that I was doing were just I wasn't having fun with because it was the same techniques that I was using to test the products, which I guess is good to shift on over to my goals for 2024, keeping them simple. Mostly talking about my channel goals anyways. I keep a lot of goals private to myself, but a big one for me for content. So there's a lot of good things that I've done. I know it doesn't seem this way, but I swear I bought less this year. I stopped buying from brands that I felt like was wasting my money, like Dior, their limited edition collections, Tom Ford. I stopped buying those stupid overpriced products that weren't making me happy, and I spent a lot less money on makeup this year. Contrary to popular belief, I only bought makeup that I reviewed. I didn't really buy makeup for leisure just for it to sit in my collection. The money that I spent on makeup was money spent into actually reviewing it on my channel and getting my money back. But with my growth, I get a lot more PR, and I feel like, you know, I get a lot of PR, which I'm so grateful for. And because I'm grateful for it, like, I want to use the products, but I really do feel like this year when it came to PR, I was just testing things just to test them. So my goal for next year is to be a little bit more thoughtful about what I'm trying for my PR. Like, is this a product that I actually am interested in trying? And it's a balance, right? Because those testing random makeup from PR videos that I did are the reason that I discovered some hidden gems. So there is value to them. But I think I could do with testing a little bit less this year. I am a review channel. I'm not saying, you know, I'm gonna do this low buy and be very, very selective with products. Like, no, I like being a review channel. I like creating a catalog of videos of many, many products that you can look up and you can see what I thought about them. You know, my channel, I post so much. As much as I would love for you to watch every video, and if you do, thank you, I don't make a video for you to watch every single one. The way I would describe it is I like to create a catalog of a lot of products, and you can look up and see what I've been testing and pick and choose the videos that best fits your needs. It's overwhelming if you watch all of my videos, I'm sure, but no, I want to test as much as I can, and then you can look up what you're interested in. So that being said, I still do want to be a little bit more selective about what I am taking out of PR and using, and just not using products just to use them. I do have to think about the views aspects, right? You know, I want to do this for a long time, so how many people are interested in a product really does matter. So if a very popular product I get in PR, I will pull that. But if there's a product I never heard anybody talking about and I quite frankly had no interest in, no need to test it, Morgan. You don't need to test everything. And then just in terms also of the content that I'll be posting, I do want to replace all of those testing videos. Not all of them, I'm still gonna do them, of course, but I would like to look into incorporating more what is called evergreen content, which is like content that is less about new, and more about topics that you can look up at any time and the video would be relevant. So that might be more skill-based videos. That might be, instead of like the new and now makeup, doing more like holistic recommendation videos. Like I just did best foundations for dry skin. That would be a video idea where it's still relevant a year from now. So I'm looking into doing more videos like that, and then also just more curated and planned videos. A lot of times I just sit in front of the camera and start talking. I do want to spend a little bit more time pre-planning the videos, which I think is going to be good in terms of me not like just sitting down and grabbing PR and just throwing it on my face and trying makeup for no reason. I think really pre-planning the videos that I want to do is going to help create better content for you guys, more evergreen content, if you will, more valuable content. So if you have any recommendations or requests kind of within that area of content, let me know what you guys would like to see. I did mess around in December with it a little bit. I did not test, other than this last week of the new products that I got since I've been home, I haven't tested any new makeup in December. I tried to do more evergreen content. Of course, I did like my favorites and all of that end of year stuff, but I tried to sprinkle in more fun, thoughtful content that I had to pre-plan for. Content like I did best foundations for dry skin. There was a number of things that I was testing out, and I hope you guys enjoyed my December. I want to hear your thoughts. Did you enjoy not posting constantly new reviews, but posting more roundup videos? Let me know if you enjoyed the videos in December, because I was testing kind of what I want to do in this new year. And you know, my content will always be product focused and review focused, but I would like to try a few less things and replace those videos with digging into what I have and creating helpful content for you, because at this point I've tried almost everything, it feels like. So I can now go back, and instead of adding new products to the repertoire, I can go back and kind of categorize, recommend the best of the best in that way. And then that's really it mostly for my content goals. I'll be honest, I've been really happy with how things are going. I've been enjoying the content I've been making. I've been really happy with how it turns out and how you guys are taking it, but of course there's always room for improvement. I do think I would like to add a little bit more focus into short form this year, experimenting a little bit more, because I am kind of getting a little repetitive with my short form content, so I'm going to mess around this upcoming year for sure. And then personally, I'm just gonna finish this up real quick so we can wrap this up. I want to continue to read, but I want to try new genres. I've been reading mostly romance, and I'm starting to get sick of it, you guys. I'm getting bored. How many grumpy boss turned lover books can I read? I'm like vomit at this point. So I think I'm going to experiment a little bit more with different genres this year. And then in terms of fitness, I want to take a step a little bit away from the fitness classes and focus a little bit more on heavy weights, and then get back into running. I used to really love running, but we'll see. I mean, the main goal with fitness really is just to always be consistent. So I'm gonna do whatever my body wants to do, but I am gonna kind of frame it around a little bit more heavy weights and running, but just keep up the good work. And then lastly, this was a goal that I failed on last year and the year before that. Spanish. I'm gonna learn Spanish. I actually have taken the next step. I found what Spanish class I'm gonna be taking. I need to sign up still. I have a little bit of a crazy beginning of 2024, and I'll explain that when it comes, but after that's over, we're getting into that. So anyways, that was kind of a long get ready with me. I had a lot to chat about. It was a lot to go over 2023. I hope you enjoyed this more personal video. I rarely ever do these, but I had a lot to say today, and I just want to say thank you guys for being a huge part of 2023 and why for me it was such a good year. I mean, really, 133,000 more people joined the channel, so that's incredible. And let me know what videos, based on the goals and whatnot and information that I gave, what kind of videos would you like to see from me? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a happy new year. Sending blessings your way for 2024. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.